We've all heard the statement that the magic number to be able to drink is 21 because your brain has not been fully developed enough to be able to drink an alcohol beverage and to be able to consume it as an adult would. If 21 is so mature, then why is it that at the age of 18 you are considered an adult? At the age of 18 in the United States, you are at the legal age in which you are able to be able to draft it into the military, buy cigarettes, which is very bad for your health as well. You are able to possess or buy a weapon and, or be charged as an adult for a crime. You are able to leave the house without the parents' consent. There's many things that you can do at the age of 18, but for some reason our government just won't let us have a drink every now and then, even though we could go into the military or even worse things could happen but we are an adult at the age of 18 and we are treated like an adult with by many different standards. But why is it that we cannot drink an alcohol beverage? And one of the more ironic things in the United States is that we are the only developed nation that has a legal drinking age of greater than the age of 18 years old. In England and Spain and Germany and there's many other countries over in Europe, their drinking age is as low as 16 years of age. And when they enacted the law in 1984 called the National Minimum Purchase Age Act, this act would make it to where you had to be 21 years of age to be able to buy or consume an alcohol beverage without being persecuted in criminal process. In order to force the states to follow these rules, the government would not give them money for the highways, and that would be up to 10% because of the Federal Aid Highway Act. There's many colleges that are trying to get the legal drinking age lowered, and one of those is Duke University in Durham, North Carolina. The college president had proposed to reduce the age of drinking in order to maybe to lower the amount of binge drinking because the students would be less enthusiastic about going out and rebelling against the law, and and they and Duke's not the only one. There's over 100 universities in the United States that are pushing for this same proposal. Some of the states that are trying to lower the age of drinking to the age of 18 is Missouri, South Dakota, and Minnesota. Missouri at the moment is trying to have a ballot on the 2010 election that would state if the legal drinking age should be at the age of 18 or should it stay at the age of 21. In South Dakota, all of 19 and 20-year-olds could buy and consume alcohol, but it had to be at a lower alcohol content. In Minnesota, they're trying to make it to where 18-year-olds can go and have a drink, but it had to be in a restaurant or a bar where the bartenders could regulate how much you can drink, but you could not buy a alcohol beverage at a liquor store until you're 21 years of age. Some of the studies that have came out have stated that 71% of students have become more aware of the problems that come with drinking at so much, and 81% have stated that they will continue to drink even though they were underage, because but they have gone off campus because they did not want to get caught by the campus police. In order to fix this, the government should lower the drinking age. If the government or states would make this a law, there would be more students that would not leave the campus and drink somewhere else and would not have to drive back on the campus drunk. Instead, they would stay on campus. They would not be afraid of being caught by the campus police, and would help in students not driving intoxicated. And this would most probably save the lives of many students. And one of the more things that gets me is the reason why the men and women of our armed forces are not able to consume an alcohol beverage. It's amazing though that these men and women are trying to keep our freedom in our country, but we they still can't go out and have a beer every once in a while. And some of the states that are trying to make it to where that military personnel only can drink under the age of under the age of 21 is Kentucky, Wisconsin, and South Carolina. It's amazing that the government believes that these so-called kids are responsible enough to kill or be killed. Then why can't they go out and have a drink every once in a while? There was an Ohio State representative that wanted to lower the drinking age for the military. He had stated that it was unconscionable for them not to be treated as real adults. The government trusts them to make decisions that could affect the lives of men and women, the men and women under the command, and they would also affect the lives of civilians. And these kids, supposedly called kids, have to make split decision seconds, and the government makes no hesitation that they could make this life or death situation, but for some reason they just are not able to go out and have a drink because they just don't think they're qualified to be able to go out and have a drink now and again. And yes, there will always be those idiots that will continue to drive drunk. People can't say that these students or young adults or young military personnel are driving intoxicated because their brain is not fully developed. Because there are 30, 40, and 50-year-old men and women that drive intoxicated all the time. They know that they're going to go out and have a good time and party, and they know they're going to drive home, but they just don't care. Instead, they don't worry about it because they're just irresponsible, and there's always going to be the irresponsible ones out there that are just going to be idiots, and they're not always the kids. Yes, the kids sit there and do these things, but would they really be happening if they would not have to go out and hide from their parents, hide from the military police because they're afraid of getting kicked out of the military because they're having a drink now and again with their buddies or something, or going out with their friends on the friends from the campus out to a buddy's house to be able to have a drink and not have to worry about the campus police. No, instead, if they would lower the drinking age to 18, you would have more students, more military personnel that are under the age of 21 would probably stay on campus. They would stay on the military bases or stay at home, and they would not go out and drive intoxicated because they would trying to keep it away from their bosses or parents or the faculty or whatever. Instead, and with this, they would have more and more people staying at home and less drinking and driving on the road from the underage kids, because most kids, they have common sense. And they know that they shouldn't, but they want to go out and have a good time, and they want to rebel because they know it's gonna get them in trouble if they do. And face it, kids are like that. And I think if they lowered it, the kids wouldn't think that way, and they wouldn't have to go out and hide or anything like that. And they just need to to figure out what they're gonna do because I think it would lower everything on the on the fatalities on drunk driving. And thank you.